If you have ever thought, this seems overwhelming, right? We don't have the bandwidth or the time for a complex marketing engine build or update. I get it. You're already running a business, managing clients, putting out fires. And now I'm talking about building an engine. It sounds like another full-time job. Here's the thing. You're already spending time and bandwidth on marketing. It's just not working efficiently. You're already doing the work, but without a clear system, it feels heavier and like more work than it should. What if instead of adding more, we simply organized what you're already doing so it took less effort to manage? That's what I'm going to dig into in today's episode. Hi, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing, where we believe marketing shouldn't be difficult and it definitely shouldn't be guesswork. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I'm excited to dig into this with you. First thing we need to do to break down the fact that building a marketing engine does not have to be complex is, where does the overwhelm come from? Because a lot of us, when it comes to marketing, are overwhelmed. But why? The real overwhelm doesn't come from marketing itself. It comes from complexity and disorganization. Most business owners are already juggling a bunch of different things in addition to the 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 marketing activities that they're doing. I'm doing social posts. I got a website. I'm doing paid ads. I've got a blog. I'm working with an agency. I've got a freelancers I'm working with, but none of it's aligned. And it feels like herding cats. What does that do to you emotionally? It makes you feel stretched thin, right? You're reactive, you're frustrated, and unsure if anything's actually working, right? It's like trying to drive a car with all the parts scattered across your garage. You're pushing hard, but the car isn't going anywhere. Okay? Overwhelming is managing 5 different marketing vendors with no clear strategy. Overwhelming is second guessing every marketing decision. Taking the marketing engine approach and building a system creates clarity, so marketing requires less of your attention, not more. The key to success is focus, right? The problem here is not bandwidth, it's that your marketing is unorganized and inefficient. So let me break down the myth of complex marketing. Because it's so easy to overcomplicate marketing. Very easy to make it complex. Complex is what happens when strategy is missing. True marketing fundamentals are actually simple. Right? Knowing your audience. Who are you targeting? Crafting a clear message to attract and engage that audience, right? And aligning your services and offers to what that market, that audience wants and needs. These are fundamental things. They're not overly complicated. Building a marketing engine is done one manageable step at a time. We don't do a gazillion different things at once. That's overwhelming, right? That creates complexity. You can't and shouldn't try to build it all at once. We take one bite at a time, right? One small step. We take that step, then we take the next one, and the next one after that. Think of it like tuning up a car one part at a time, right? You start with fuel, right? Then the spark, then the alignment, right? You don't need to rebuild the whole thing in a day. And that's one of the things that we work on when we guide clients through this process. It's just each simple step, so it never feels like it's too much. It doesn't have to be. One small fix creates progress, starts to build momentum, and it builds confidence. Okay, the overwhelm you're feeling is from complexity. Building a marketing engine is not complex. It's fundamental marketing principles implemented one step at a time. Okay. Simplicity and sequence are what make marketing manageable and sustainable. right? We've got to keep things simple, and the sequence of things is really important. What we do is just as important as when we do it. We've got to get the sequencing correct. So how does building an engine, right, actually free up your bandwidth? How does the engine free up your bandwidth? Let me break that down. When you've got a system, right, marketing takes less time, not more. It's more efficient. The core components of your marketing engine provide structure. And there's three core components that we look at. Strategy, right? It's the fuel for the engine. It gives clarity. There is no more guessing. Planning is where we're picking parts and assembling the engine. That helps create focus. What are you going to focus on? There's no more chasing random tactics and throwing stuff up against a wall. And then leadership is the mechanic, right? Somebody has to be maintaining and optimizing that engine on an ongoing basis. That leadership brings accountability. There's no more dropped balls. Implementation and execution happens like it should. The engine is being optimized like it should. Okay, the engine does the heavy lifting for you. Once it's running, you just maintain it. And you got to maintain it. This is not an engine that you just start and then run and then it runs forever. This is an ongoing process. So you're never done. But once the engine's up and running, it's about maintaining it. Okay. That bandwidth constraint is exactly why you need to build an engine. Okay. Right now you're managing marketing reactively, putting out fires, chasing new tactics, wondering what's working and what's not and why. But the engine approach actually frees up your bandwidth by creating predictable processes. Okay. Marketing engine doesn't add work. It replaces wasted effort with organized, repeatable processes. Okay. So I hope breaking this down has helped. Building a marketing engine does not have to be complex. Okay. Overwhelm disappears when clarity takes over. You're already spending bandwidth on marketing. The problem is it's scattered. Complexity is what happens when there's no system. Simplicity comes from creating that structure. And a marketing engine doesn't demand more of your time. It gives time back by creating predictability. You don't need to overhaul everything overnight either. You just need to start with the next simple step. And if you need help with that, reach out to us, okay? We can help with that. There is zero pressure, but if you need help building the engine, connect with us. Rialtomarketing.com. That's RIALTO marketing.com. The other free resource I've got for you is over at marketingenginescorecard.com, right? If you're feeling like you're doing all the recommended marketing stuff, but you're still not seeing the results you need, you're stuck in what I call the marketing maze. Okay. And if you want your roadmap out, that's where you can get it. Marketingenginescorecard.com. So you can find out exactly what's keeping your marketing engine from delivering consistent growth. Takes less than 2 minutes. So go do it now. And until next time, take care.